invitation for you to come and rest, right, on your mat in a number of ways. Yes, we can come and sit. And so I might just come to sit for a moment with the blanket. Now I could just fold, this is quite a nice firm blanket, so I just make a nice platform. But you could use a couple of yoga blocks or big books. It's nice to have something that has a little firmness to it, yeah, but possibly not too firm. You could use the bolster as well, but for some of you that may feel too high, unless it's a more rectangular shaped bolster. But the round ones, unless it's well used, might be a little too high for you. So I'm just coming to sit my pelvis onto a little bit of height, and then just fold the legs simply. Right? And if you come here and you still feel sort of pulling through the hips or pulling up at the knees, the back feels like it's rounding, then take more height. You could have a couple of pillows and you just keep building the height up till it feels more and more natural through your hips and your spine. And you can feel that weight dropping down into the folded legs. And then let the hands just quietly rest. So for the next few minutes, we're just going to allow ourselves to come and rest in a simple seated pose. And if you're not happy to sit on the floor, sit yourself on a chair. But come to the edge of that chair, so that not only have you found your sitting bones, but also you're in the soles of your feet. So ideally, we should all feel that we can rock a little into the sitting bones back and forth. So you can come more towards the center, the front area of the sitting bones. So that then there is that sense that you could begin to open up and lift a little through the upper spine. Right? Remember, the more we come towards the back of the sitting bones, the more likely we are to round the back. So have a little play with that. Yeah. Make any adjustments, any changes you need to make. And begin with your own touch to check in with your hips and your lower back and your folded legs. How are your knees this morning? How are your hips? How is that lower back? Do you need to bring another layer of warmth? You could wrap a blanket around the waistline. Keep this whole area nice and warm, or you may just enjoy massaging, using the palm of the hands, the heels of the hands, to rub up and down and around this whole area. Lovely, just to get a little more in touch with yourself before coming to settle. And I'm just letting my gaze rest towards the earth. So I'm no longer looking actively with the eyes. And there I can just let my inner vision come and find that sense of my spine at the very center. It's dropping and lifting within the spine. So as the breath moves out, just invite it to wash downwards. Washing, caressing the back of the spine, washing down through the pelvis, feeling this area of the pelvis and the legs, so they become a little heavier and imprint a little deeper into the earth. And then when you inspire, when that breath moves in, let that inspire you to lift out of your waistline and feel the length moving up through the spine and out through the crown of your head. And you can relax all of these muscles on the face. If you're feeling a little tense here, bring your fingertips to just touch and give a little rub over the temple area. Maybe sliding in front and behind the ears. And just bringing that touch down along the jawline. And this might well trigger off a yawn or a sigh. That's all good. Another layer of letting go and arriving. So if your palms are resting on your thighs, that helps just further ground you. Or it may be that you would like your palms to face up, to open you up to receiving whatever it is you feel you need to receive in this moment. So just begin to tap into that ebb and flow of the breath as it moves in and out. Potentially through the nostrils, but if you feel the need to breathe out through the mouth with lips slightly parted, then do. And in fact, that can be quite a useful tool when you first begin to quietly notice your breath. It will give more oomph, more release to that out breath as you allow it to wash down and through you. And relax and soften all of the muscles on your face. So when our eyes are closed, it's just easier to be a little closer to ourselves. All those distractions out there in the space around you can't get through as easily. So I'd like you to allow all your focus to come into the ear space, space that surrounds your ears and within the ears. And as we allow ourselves to be more and more sensitive to the sense of hearing, begin to listen in, not only to the space within the room you are resting in now, but the space outside of this room that might be beneath you, above you, right? It may be the space outside. And that sound outside might be some distance away. You know, as I have been talking to you, I've been aware of a train passing by, some drilling sounds. Here in London town, we're never very far away from a lot of sound. So what's the soundscape for you? Both within the room and close to you, and outside of that room and further away. The sounds of nature, of wind blowing, birds singing, the sounds of a child's voice in the room next door, the radio playing, what are those sounds? A little closer to you, maybe you're becoming more aware of the sound of your own breath. Just following that breath as it moves in, as it moves out. And why don't you just bring your hands to rest on your lower belly area? Fingertips just resting on the pubic bone and my thumbs coming to meet just below the navel. Simple hand mudra. And as you continue to quietly be with your breath, just be aware of the movement here beneath your hands. The gentle expansion that comes with the in-breath. And then the gentle drawing away from your hands as you exhale. And it's as simple as that. To stay with that quiet observation of the ebb and flow of the breath here within your belly. And an invitation to remember that the belly is the emotional center for us all. So often this is an area of holding tension. So you could just let the hands slide, one palm on top of the other, and just rest into that space below the navel. And then let the hands move from there towards that right hip, traveling up what is the ascending colon, moving across just above your navel and down towards that right hip, stimulating the descending colon. And just continue, letting the hands circle around this area. Your touch is just as you like it. It might be very light, or you may let it be a little deeper. And of course, if you prefer your hands to stay as a still anchor in the lower belly, then let them. And if your eyes are closed and your hands are moving, maybe an inhalation might be 1/2 of that circle, and the exhale, the lower half. You just come to let your hands settle to that starting point. I'm going to allow my chin just to drop a little closer to my sternum. My gaze can rest on the belly area. And leaving one hand with my belly, I'm going to allow my other hand to slide up and just come and rest itself over the heart area. Now an invitation to just feel the flow of energy between your heart and your womb. So as you inhale, you may get a sense of the energy moving from the womb up towards your heart. And as you exhale, feeling the energy travel from heart to womb. From womb to heart, from heart to womb. Inhaling back towards your heart, exhaling back towards your womb. Just let your hands relax and rest in position on your thighs. Let your head slowly roll back to that resting point. The eyes soften and open a little. Don't rush to look with the eyes, but just let them absorb the light, the space in which you rest. Palms are open to receive. And then you can just let your eyes open and lift, and let the arms float up. And opening the palms, opening your gaze, opening your heart to receive all that you wish to receive. And gathering in all of that beautiful, bountiful, nurturing energy. And you take it into your palms. Just guide it down and hold it there softly within your palms, front of the heart. And just take a moment to bow to yourself in gratitude for taking this time for you. Thank you.